Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something small, but worth big money. That's right, we're talking about 5-cent coins, or nickels, from the United States that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. You might think a nickel is just worth 5 cents, but some of these rare coins are true hidden treasures, and you might have one in your wallet right now. In this video, we'll count down the most valuable 5-cent coins in U.S. history, explain what makes them so special, and show you how to spot one of these valuable finds. So grab your coins, and let's see if you've got a nickel worth a fortune. Let's get started. First up, the Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. The 1985 P. Jefferson nickel has a face value of US 5 cents, and is composed of the usual clad composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The diameter is about 21.20 millimeters and the weight about 5.00 g. In 1985, the Philadelphia Mint produced a large number of these coins. The mintage is listed as 647,114,962 pieces. Because of that high mintage, this coin is considered common in terms of availability. Now let's talk about condition, specifically uncirculated condition, which is the key for collectors. An uncirculated, or mint state, MS, coin is one that has not been used in everyday circulation. That means it shows no wear on the highest surfaces and still retains its original mint luster and strike. For the 1985 P nickel, in uncirculated condition you'll want to look for crisp details, sharp lines, strong definition especially on Monticello steps on the reverse, no signs of wear, minimal contact marks, and original color and toning. On the reverse of the Jefferson nickel, one important feature collectors mention is the full steps, meaning the steps leading up to Monticello are fully visible and sharply struck. While the 1985 P is common, coins with outstanding full steps and gem quality strike command stronger premiums. Also, check for any damage, cleaning, or unattractive toning. These will reduce the value. If you plan to submit for professional grading by the likes of Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, these factors matter a lot. Given the very high mintage and the fact that most examples are quite common, the standard value for a 1985 P. Jefferson nickel in circulated condition, showing wear, is essentially its face value or just a bit more. For instance, sources list that in average circulated condition it's worth around 5 cents. When we move up into uncirculated, mint state, condition, the values start to differ. According to one resource, the 1985 P uncirculated, MS Plus, coins might be worth between about US 61 cents and US $3.58 or more. So, for many coins, you're not talking huge premiums, just a modest amount above face value unless the condition is exceptional. However, and this is important, in the world of coin collecting, condition and rare strike or grading distinctions can make the difference between a few dollars and hundreds or even thousands. For example, one auction record for a 1985 P. Jefferson nickel graded MS 67 Plus, with full steps, fetched US $9,066. So while a typical uncirculated coin might only fetch a few dollars, the truly top-tier coins with exceptional attributes can fetch significantly more. Also, if there are recognized varieties or error coins, off-center strikes, doubling, die break, etc., the value can skyrocket. So why such a big spread in value? Here are the main reasons. 1. Mintage and availability. Because 647 million plus of the 1985 P were minted, there are plenty out there in typical condition. That limits the value for ordinary coins. 2. Condition/grade. A coin graded MS60 versus MS67 is night and day in terms of value. The higher grade coins are rare. 3. Strike quality and features. For example, the clarity of Monticello steps, the presence of full steps, sharpness of the design, minimal defects or marks, these matter. The coin that fetched over $9,000 was specifically noted for razor-sharp steps and outstanding toning. Varieties/errors, rare errors, unusual toning, off-center strikes, die doubles or other anomalies increase price significantly. 5. Certification/grading service. coins that are professionally graded and encapsulated by PCGS, NGC, or equivalent bring higher trust and often higher prices. As a collector, especially if you've got multiple coins or you're building a set, it's good to subscribe to a few practices. Keep up with updated price guides and auction results. For instance, the PCGS Auction Price Guide or NGC Coin Explorer lists recent realized values. Follow coin specialist channels or YouTube for alerts of rare finds or error coins. One recent video regarding the 1985 Jefferson nickel mentions hidden value for rare examples. Stay informed about grading criteria and how to pick the highest quality examples. Store your coins properly, no cleaning, use holders, avoid damage, because condition matters far more than just the year. Consider whether a coin is worth getting certified. Often for coins at MS65+ or with full steps, certification may significantly increase value and liquidity. So, you found a 1985 P. Jefferson nickel in your collection, or you just pulled one out of a drawer. What should you do? First, check its condition under good lighting. Do the details look sharp? How are the steps on Monticello? Is there wear or toning or marks? If it looks just like the many common examples, its value may simply be face value plus a small premium. But if it looks exceptional, minimal contact marks, very sharp strike, outstanding luster or toning, then you might consider getting it submitted to a grading service. Before submitting, compare recent auction results for that year/coin and see if it might be worth it, i.e., will the cost of grading be justified by likely value. Also, store it safely. Finally, keep track of auction houses or dealer listings for comparable coins so you know what your coin might realistically fetch. Let's also put the value into context for collectors outside the USA, for example here in Pakistan. Suppose an uncirculated 1985 P in average to good mint state might sell for US $1 to $3 per USA coin book. At current exchange rates, just as an example, actual rate varies, that may convert to perhaps PKR 300, 1000, depending on USD/PKR. If you found one of the rarer top-grade examples, say the coin graded MS67+ that sold for US $9,000, that would equate to a very large sum in PKR, hundreds of thousands. Of course, that's highly exceptional. Most coins will not reach such levels. Also consider shipping, grading fees, certification costs, storage, and market demand when selling internationally. In closing, the 1985 P. Jefferson nickel is a coin worth checking, especially if you have one in uncirculated condition. Most will only fetch a modest premium over face value because of the huge mintage. But that doesn't mean there isn't potential. In the right grade, with the right strike, exceptional toning or steps, it could be quite valuable. If you're interested in building a nickel collection or searching for hidden gems in everyday coins, keep your eyes open for sharp details, full steps, minimal wear, and certification possibilities. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss future coin value investigations. Also drop a comment below if you have a 1985 P nickel or any other interesting coin, and I'll try to help you assess it. Until next time, keep collecting and keep discovering next up. The Jefferson nickel has been in continuous production since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The design, by Felix Schlag, has remained iconic for decades, though subtle design refinements were made over time. The obverse shows Jefferson's bust with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1987 in our case, while the reverse depicts Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, with the denomination 5 cents and E pluribus unum. The 1987 P nickel followed the traditional copper-nickel composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighed 5.0 grams, and measured 21.2 millimeters in diameter. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark just to the right of Monticello. In that year, the Mint produced about 371,499,481 coins, which means they are not scarce, but individual examples can still vary greatly in value depending on condition and eye appeal. The mid-1980s were an era of massive coin production in the United States. Economic growth and population expansion meant millions of nickels flowed through vending machines, cash registers, and banks every single day. The Philadelphia Mint alone produced more than 370 million nickels in 1987, and they were meant for heavy circulation, not for collectors. Most of these coins endured decades of pocket wear, abrasions, and environmental exposure. That's why finding one in fine condition today is interesting, not because it's rare, but because it's a survivor. The fine grade sits in the middle of the circulated spectrum, above good and very good, but below very fine and extremely fine. A 1987 P nickel in fine condition has lived a long life, but still tells its story clearly. It's a testament to durability, and a perfect learning tool for collectors studying wear patterns and the life cycle of modern coinage. So, what does fine condition really mean for this coin? In grading terms, fine, or F12 on the Sheldon scale, describes a coin that shows moderate to heavy wear on the high points, but whose major design details remain visible and distinct. For the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel, this means Jefferson's hairlines and cheekbone are mostly smooth, but still outlined. His eye and jaw remain clear. The lettering around the edge is fully readable, though slightly flattened. On the reverse, Monticello's roof and columns will be worn but recognizable, and the word Monticello remains complete. The steps leading up to the building are likely merged, and luster, that minty reflective shine, will be gone. Fine coins are solid, attractive circulated examples that show honest wear but still preserve character. In other words, they've worked hard in circulation but haven't been abused. Now, let's talk numbers. The question everyone asks, how much is it worth? The truth is that because of the massive mintage and common availability, the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel holds modest market value in circulated grades. In fine condition, most examples are worth roughly 5 to 10 cents, which is slightly above face value. However, values can rise for coins in higher grades. According to USA Coin Book and PCGS price guides, an uncirculated or mint state example can range between 30 cents and $3.32, depending on grade and eye appeal. Exceptional examples graded MS67 or MS68 full steps, where every step on Monticello is sharp and clear, have sold at auction for over $1,800. Those are rare, pristine specimens certified by PCGS or NGC. But for our fine condition coin, the value lies more in education and appreciation than in dollar terms. Still, it's always exciting to know that every coin could, in theory, be part of that higher value spectrum if preserved differently. Let's unpack why value differs so much between fine and uncirculated conditions. The main factors are mintage, condition, eye appeal, and strike quality. With over 371 million minted, supply is massive, so rarity comes not from how many exist, but how many survive in top condition. Coins with sharp strikes showing full steps on Monticello are particularly desirable, since the steps are often the first area to show weakness during minting. Clean surfaces, minimal contact marks, and natural luster boost value. In contrast, heavy wear, corrosion, or cleaning reduce value significantly. Remember, cleaning a coin can destroy its natural finish and cut its value by half or more. For fine-grade nickels, appeal depends on even wear, legible text, and absence of deep scratches. Collectors often use these mid-grade coins to complete circulated sets, because they're affordable and authentic representations of coins that actually serve the public. So, if this coin isn't rare, why should collectors care? The Jefferson Nickel series attracts hobbyists because it spans decades, includes design changes, and offers opportunities for date and mint set building, where you collect one from each year and mint location. The 1987 P fits neatly into this lineage. For beginners, it's a great introduction coin, inexpensive, accessible, and full of history. For advanced collectors, it represents an opportunity to search for high-grade examples or error varieties, like off-center strikes or die cracks. Now, about subscription details. In the coin world, that means staying subscribed to reputable price tracking and numismatic information sources such as the PCGS CoinFacts database, NGC Coin Explorer, USA Coin Book, and CoinWeek. Subscribing to a few coin-related YouTube channels, auction newsletters, or PCGS updates helps you follow trends in nickel values and rare finds. It's a good idea to also join a local coin club or online community for discussions about newly discovered varieties or counterfeit alerts. Knowledge is your most valuable asset in collecting. Now, if you happen to have a 1987 P nickel lying around, here's what to do. First, check its condition under good lighting. If it still has some sharp details but shows even wear, it's fine. Look for any doubling in the lettering or unusual marks. Those could indicate errors worth further attention. Next, clean hands only, no harsh polishing. Store your coin in a 2x2 cardboard flip, plastic capsule, or coin album page to protect it from moisture and scratches. Label it with the date, mint mark, and condition grade, so you remember what it is later. If you have several, organize them chronologically. This not only looks great but helps you see how the design evolved over time. And don't underestimate sentimental value. Many people keep coins from their birth year or the year they started collecting, making each coin part of a personal story as well as a national one. Let's step back and look at this coin's worth globally. In the US, fine condition coins trade at a few cents above face value, often sold in bulk or as fillers in coin shops. But outside the United States, for example in countries like Pakistan, India, or the Philippines, the curiosity factor raises the perceived value. A 1987 P. Jefferson nickel might sell online or through collectors for around US 50 cents to $1, equivalent to PKR 150 to 300 depending on exchange rates. That's not investment gold, but it's enough to show that even the most ordinary coins can cross borders and cultures through the universal appeal of numismatics. Rarely, collectors abroad may pay slightly more for coins in better visual condition or for specific date gaps in their collection. But in general, 1987 P nickels in fine condition remain educational pieces, not high-value rarities, and that's perfectly fine. Their story is what makes them shine. So, to wrap things up, the 1987 P. Jefferson nickel represents both the everyday and the enduring. It's common, yes, but it's also a survivor from a time when U.S. coinage was transitioning into the modern era of high-speed minting and mass circulation. In fine condition, its value may not break records, but its importance lies in its role as a gateway coin for new collectors, a benchmark for learning grading standards, and a small but solid link to American history. If you've got one, take a moment to appreciate its journey, from mint press to pocket, to perhaps this very moment in your hand. And if you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to like this video, subscribe for weekly deep dives into U.S. coins, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future breakdowns of Jefferson nickels, Lincoln cents, and more. Drop a comment below if you own a 1987 P nickel. Tell me what condition it's in, and I'll help you estimate its grade and value. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. Keep collecting, keep learning, and keep that curiosity shining as bright as a freshly minted nickel next up. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938 and continues to this day, depicting President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. The 1996 D version is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs approximately 5.00 grams, and has a diameter of 21.20 millimeters. The mintage for the 1996 D is 817,736,000 coins. Such a large mintage means the coin is very common in the series, which affects both its availability and its value. Because so many were minted and because nickels serve everyday transaction functions, the 1996 D spent years in circulation, in pockets, vending machines, cash registers. It's part of what you might call modern common strike territory, easily found, abundant, and produced under mass minting conditions. For many collectors, coins in circulated condition like this serve as low-cost fillers for building a complete date and mint set of Jefferson nickels. They may not command big premiums, but they still tell a story of daily commerce, of the minting process, and of wear patterns that reflect real-world use. So what does fine condition mean for this coin? In numismatic grading parlance, fine, often designated F12 on the Sheldon scale, describes a coin that shows moderate to heavy wear, but all major elements are still visible. For the 1996 D Jefferson nickel in fine condition, you'll expect that many of the high points, for example Jefferson's hairline, cheek area, and certain parts of Monticello, are visibly worn and the luster, mint shine, is long gone. The lettering, Liberty, In God We Trust, United States of America, 5 cents, will still be readable, but the surfaces are flattened in places. In other words, usable as a circulated coin, worn but honest. Such a grade is collectible, but it falls far below very fine, extremely fine, or uncirculated. Now to the big question, what is it worth? Because the 1996 D. Jefferson nickel is so common and was minted in large quantity, coins in circulated grades typically trade for face value, 5 cents, or just a modest premium above that. For example, one website states that circulated examples of the 1996 D are worth about US 5 cents, face value, in many cases. For uncirculated specimens, the price moves up. For example, the Gray Sheet catalog lists the 1996 D in mint state up to about US $8 in some cases. Therefore, for a coin in fine condition, circulated but reasonably sound, you might reasonably estimate something like US 5 to 50 cents, depending on how crisp the details are and how clean the surfaces appear. Buyers will often see it as a low-value entry piece, not a high-premium item. Why is the value so modest? The key reasons: 1. Very high mintage means a huge supply. 2. Common design and composition mean no precious metal content. And 3. Circulated condition means whereas diminished originality and collector appeal. However, there are factors that can push value higher, even for this coin. Exceptional strike quality, sharp details, strong definition, or rare varieties, for example, full steps on Monticello, which are considered desirable. Minimal wear, attractive toning or surfaces, errors or die varieties, off-center, double die, etc. A grading by a major service, PCGS, NGC, which can increase market trust if your 1996 D is above average in one or more of those respects. It could command a premium well above the typical 5 cents. If you're a collector or wanting to become one, you'll want to subscribe not just in the sense of a service, but in the sense of a routine. Stay informed, stay organized, and keep good habits. Here are some recommended practices. Subscribe to trusted coin price guides and auction databases, PCGS CoinFacts, NGC Coin Explorer, USA Coin Book, to track recent sale results and changes in value. Participate in coin forums or local coin clubs. Many times collectors spot new error varieties or get insights on print runs and grading. Use proper storage, 2x2 cardstock flips, coin albums, mylar holders, and avoid cleaning coins. Cleaning significantly reduces value. When in doubt about a condition or variety, get a second opinion or talk to a reputable dealer. Keep records of what you own, including date/mint mark, condition grade, storage location, for insurance purposes and for resale/trade readiness. These practices help you avoid pitfalls and make the most of even modest coins like the 1996 D. Let's talk about what you should do if you have a 1996 D. Jefferson nickel and you're wondering whether to keep it, upgrade it, or sell it. First, assess the condition. Is it heavily worn, good or very good, moderately worn, fine, or lightly worn, very fine or better? If it's just fine and typical, keep it in a safe flip or album as part of your collection or as a reference coin. If it appears better than typical, stronger detail, cleaner surfaces, maybe some toning or good eye appeal, you might consider segregating it as a higher quality example and reviewing the possibility of grading. If you ever decide to sell or trade, gather comparable recent sale data for 1996 D nickels in similar condition so you have realistic expectations. If you don't have a premium example, remember many collectors will trade for it at face value plus a small premium, especially if they're building date sets. For those of us outside the United States, for example in Pakistan, India, or elsewhere, it's useful to convert value into local currency and factor in shipping, import, export issues, grading costs, and market access. If a 1996 D. Jefferson nickel in fine condition is worth, say, US 10 to 50 cents, then converting to Pakistan rupees, as an example, might give you a rough equivalent of perhaps PKR 40 to 200, depending on exchange rate. That's modest, but still interesting from a collecting point of view. Use it as a learning coin rather than expecting large profit. Also keep in mind, People overseas paying for US coins may pay a little more for novelty, but shipping and fees often reduce net gain. Many coin dealers in other countries will accept such coins as part of larger lots or sets rather than as standalone high-value items. In closing, the 1996 D. Jefferson nickel is a coin worth keeping in mind, not because it will make you rich overnight, but because it offers a gateway into coin collecting. It's accessible, it's part of a well-documented series, and it helps you build skills in grading, condition assessment, and variety spotting. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more coin value deep dives. We'll cover other dates, mint marks, errors, and high-value pieces, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. And if you have a 1996 D nickel or any other Jefferson nickel lying around, drop a comment below. Tell us how it looks and we'll help you estimate its condition and value. Thanks for watching, happy collecting, and remember, even the common coin can teach you something. Next up. The year 2000 marked a major milestone, the last year before the U.S. Mint launched the Westward Journey nickel designs in 2004. The Jefferson nickel had been in continuous production since 1938, featuring the profile of President Thomas Jefferson designed by Felix Schlag. The obverse carries Jefferson's portrait facing left, with "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 2000 wrapping around. The reverse displays Jefferson's home, Monticello, with the words "E Pluribus Unum," United States of America, and 5 cents. The composition remained the traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a weight of 5.0 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. In 2000, the Denver Mint struck an incredible 1,511,292,000 nickels, over 1.5 billion coins, making it one of the most heavily produced years for the denomination in modern history. That high production volume makes this a very common coin, but there's still plenty to learn from it. Let's talk about that D mint mark. It's located just to the right of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the two main production facilities for nickels, the other being Philadelphia, marked by a P. Coins from Denver are typically known for their sharp strikes and slightly more reddish tone due to differences in metal batches and striking pressure. In 2000, the Denver Mint was running high-speed presses at full capacity to meet circulation demand, and that's why you'll find some coins from that year with slightly weaker strikes or die fatigue. These characteristics don't make them errors per se, but they can influence eye appeal and grade. So, while the 2000D isn't rare, it's still a great piece of numismatic history, a product of the millennium and a bridge between classic and modern Jefferson nickels. Now, let's focus on what good condition actually means. In coin grading, good, often abbreviated as G4 on the Sheldon scale, is near the lower end of the grading spectrum. It means a coin has been heavily circulated, showing significant wear, but the date, mint mark, and major design elements are still identifiable. For the 2000D Jefferson nickel, that means Jefferson's profile will appear smooth, the hair details nearly gone, and much of the lettering may be faint but readable. On the reverse, Monticello's dome and steps will be heavily worn, with only its general outline remaining. The rims may be blended into the fields, and the original mint luster is completely gone. Good coins have seen long use, they've passed through countless hands, vending machines, and pockets, and while they don't fetch high premiums, they tell the story of everyday America. It's a perfect learning grade for beginners studying how coins wear over. Now for the big question. How much is a 2000D Jefferson nickel worth? According to data from sources such as USA Coinbook and PCGS Coinfax, a typical circulated 2000D nickel in good condition holds a value of around 5 cents. That's right, face value. In other words, it's worth exactly what it says on the tin, 5 cents. However, as condition improves, so does value. A nice uncirculated or mint state specimen can sell for between 28 cents and $3, while a coin graded MS67 full steps, with a perfectly defined Monticello staircase, has fetched over $1,500 at auction. That's rare, of course. Such coins are few and far between, found only in sealed rolls or mint sets. So while your good condition example isn't going to make you rich, it's still a meaningful part of the series and an affordable way to start a date and mint collection. PCGS Coinfax. You might wonder why there's such a wide range between 5 cents and $1,500. The answer comes down to condition, strike quality, and varieties. A heavily worn coin, even if old, tends to be common, but a pristine example with sharp detail, luster, and no marks can be rare even for recent dates. Then there are mint errors and die varieties, and the 2000D has a few worth noting. Collectors occasionally find off-center strikes, die cracks, and struck-through grease errors. These can increase value depending on severity and visibility. Some nickels from this period also show die deterioration doubling, where letters or numbers appear shadowed or doubled. While minor doubling doesn't drastically raise value, major visible examples can sell for several dollars. So, if you have a 2000D nickel, it's always worth inspecting closely under magnification. You never know what you might find. Even though the 2000D Jefferson nickel is common, it holds a special place in collections because it's part of the final stretch of classic design nickels before the 2004 redesign. Collectors often include it in Year 2000 sets, Millennium-themed collections, or complete Jefferson date and mint sets from 1938 onward. If you're building such a set, you'll want to keep one each of the 2000P and 2000D. To stay on top of the market, subscribe to resources like the PCGS Price Guide, NGC Coin Explorer, and Coin Week newsletters. Follow coin collecting YouTube channels, including ones that post updates on modern nickel finds and error coin discoveries. Joining online communities, like our /coins on Reddit or CoinTalk, helps you learn grading, share photos, and get value opinions. Subscription details aren't just about email lists. They mean building consistent learning habits, tracking mintages, following auctions, and watching how prices fluctuate over time. If you want to keep your 2000D nickel safe, whether for sentimental or educational value, proper storage is key. First, never clean it, even if it looks dirty or dull. Cleaning removes the original metal surface and reduces collector interest. Instead, store it in a 2x2 cardboard flip, plastic coin capsule, or acid-free album page. Keep coins in a dry, stable environment away from moisture and extreme temperatures. Label your coin with a year, mint mark, and condition, for example, 2000D good. Over time, as you upgrade your collection, you can replace your good condition example with a finer one, maybe very fine or uncirculated. Think of your coins as a timeline of progress. It's also smart to track your collection digitally, using apps like CoinManage or NGC Registry, so you can monitor value changes, keep photos, and catalog your pieces efficiently. Let's put the value in perspective for international viewers. In the United States, a 2000D nickel in good condition is worth about 5 cents, or slightly more if sold in bulk lots to hobbyists. For collectors outside the US, say in Pakistan, India, or the Philippines, the same coin might be sold for 25 cents to $1 due to shipping costs and novelty appeal. That's roughly PKR 70 to 300 depending on exchange rates. While that's not a fortune, it shows how coins can connect people across countries, small pieces of history circulating beyond their borders. Many foreign collectors appreciate US nickels for their design consistency and easy availability. Even a coin as recent as the 2000D helps illustrate the long lifespan of America. Design tradition meets everyday utility. It's a reminder that collecting isn't just about profit, it's about discovery, connection, and preserving small artifacts of history. So, to wrap it all up, the 2000D Jefferson nickel is a modern classic, a coin of huge mintage, modest value, but undeniable historical and educational worth. In good condition, it's a well-worn survivor that teaches you about grading, circulation, and mint characteristics. Its true value lies not in its market price, but in the knowledge it offers. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to keep exploring coin values, from rare errors to high-grade treasures, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next numismatic deep dive. Comment below if you found a 2000D nickel or a different Jefferson date, and I'll help you identify its condition and possible worth. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin, no matter how small or common, carries a story from America's past. Keep collecting, keep learning, and keep that curiosity alive. Thanks for watching.